Welcome back to Drunk on Writing, the Drunk on Writing show. I'm your host, Warren Pawlowski, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, as always, my lovely co-host, Kim Pawlowski. Kim, how you doing today? What you been up to? First, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm very stressed today.
You're very stressed.
I'm very stressed. Listen, what have I been up to? I can't even think straight. I don't know. What have I been up to? Warren, tell me, because I am so stressed. Hopefully this will get my mind off things.
I hope so, and maybe we could chat for at least an hour, and maybe
No.
liven it up, or however long you feel like talking. I don't want to. We just popped open a French vanilla coffee soda from Nature's Promise. Kim, you picked these up. You picked up I think 3 of them. It was French vanilla, espresso, and what was the third one? Do you remember?
I don't. Sorry.
Woo! Yeah, there's a lot of flavor there. Try that. No, it tastes like a coffee.
Well, it's French vanilla coffee soda.
Yes. You can definitely taste the coffee. Oh, you don't like it?
I don't like it.
I can tell.
Definitely not.
Oh, is this all mine now? Well, how much caffeine do you think is...
Yeah, I don't think... Maybe just put the cap back on and save it for tomorrow. I kind of feel like that's a tomorrow beverage. Otherwise, you're going to be up all night.
Concentrate.
Yeah, I mean, it's got
Calcium,
coffee in it. Yeah.
So calories. So do they not list amount of caffeine? If there's, I mean, it doesn't say anything about caffeine in this. I'm assuming there's caffeine because there's
I would
coffee.
assume generally with sodas, if there's no caffeine, it says no caffeine.
Caffeine free. It's a marketing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would put the cap back on and just save it for another day. Otherwise, you're going to be up all night.
We don't want that.
No.
Welcome back to the Drunk on Writing show. Be sure to head on over to youtube.com/drunkonwriting to check out the mostly full library of past episodes. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. It's fun. And did you know that Drunk on Writing patrons get early ad-free access to every video and podcast? They do, as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and previews, and exclusive monthly podcasts, exclusive wallpapers, and more. Become a patron yourself and see the full slate of offerings at drunkonwriting.com. And to all our wonderful, beautiful, lovely patrons out there, including this week's sponsors, Ariya, Norinth, and David, thank you for making this happen. Kimmy, I asked you what you've been up to, and you just answered stress. Is it like a big red light going off over your You ever I never played Metal Gear Solid in front of you, but do you know the meme of the exclamation point hanging over somebody's head when they spot somebody?
No.
I feel like that's you all the time. You just have an exclamation point over your head, like you're stressed out and like on edge.
That is correct. Yes. Yeah. Stress. That's my middle name.
Has the treadmill been helping you? I know you've been going on the treadmill more.
No. I don't think it has. I will keep it up because that's what, I've been told by several people.
Yeah, I got to get back into what's the VR game that I play with a Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
I got to get back into Beat Saber because I did one
cardio.
I did one round yesterday, and whew, man, I was a little winded.
Yeah.
It's apparently been a while. Although I feel like I have some allergies that are kind of kicking my butt lately. We all have a touch of something or other out there. We're recording this on December 28th, 9:16 at night. We try to record as close to when we finish watching the month's choice for the video club, our one staple going all the way back through the several iterations of the Drunk on Writing podcast. And this month, it's no exception. We just finished Weird earlier today.
Yeah.
Which was streaming for free on the Roku channel. Apparently it was with ads, but I didn't see any ads while we were streaming.
I didn't notice any.
It was interesting. This was my first time mirroring my phone to a TV worked really well.
It does.
You know,
Yeah.
it looked good.
Yeah.
I was impressed with it. It worked pretty flawlessly. It streamed right to the TV, no issues whatsoever. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that more often. It has as like an ad for the Roku channel. I gotta say that worked pretty well. But before we get into talking about weird, because I know that at least you have a good amount to say about weird. I think you have a good amount to say, or you got an opinion.
I have an opinion. Yeah.
Before we get to that, though, Kim, tell me what else you've been reading, watching, playing, listening to, whatever you've been doing out there.
Emily in Paris. I watched that
That's a
that season, new season. Yeah.
So you watched all the seasons then?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm caught up.
How do
I
you
mean,
like
I
the
didn't
show?
like binge it. I've been watching it for the last few years it's been out. But yeah, I like it. Is it going to win awards? No. But it's light, it's funny.
Was it like a rom com?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So what justifies the 3 seasons? Because Netflix, this is a Netflix show, right?
It is.
Netflix is notorious for having like the 3 seasons, and then canceling it or changing it up, or you know, some shows not even making it to 3 seasons. So what is it about this show? What is the magical ingredient to the show?
I think it gets the ratings for them.
Yeah, but why? Pitch the show. I mean, what is good about it?
I enjoy the main characters. I enjoy the storyline. It's a little different. You're sending, an American marketing individual to Paris where she doesn't speak any English. She doesn't speak any French, having to adapt
What is this,
to
like picking?
basically a city that they speak English, but it's something that you don't speak well. You're kind of like frowned upon.
So is this sort of like the alternate dimension version of Friends? Like if Rachel went to Paris?
I wouldn't say so. There's no like
I mean, what's she doing in Paris if she can't speak French?
they sent her over there to market, to bring an American perspective to some things, to grow the company. And so that's what she's doing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
And
you didn't tell me on the show, so I'm not gonna
she
lie.
meets, friends and builds relationships on the way. It's not a Warren show by any means. It's not.
Okay.
I'm
fair.
not even like going to try to sell you because I know like you would get it 10 minutes in and be like, no. Or you would sit there and be like, oh, well, they're going to hook up. And it's like, go do something,
Understood.
let me just enjoy it.
You've been watching that a lot on your phone using headphones, while Olivia's been watching TV.
BB Finn.
What is it?
I can't take it.
What is
BB
it?
Finn.
What's that?
It is like,
Is that another knockoff?
yeah. And it's just the same songs sung
By different people.
by different people. They're even more obnoxious than Coco Melon. So yes, I've been, yeah, especially in the mornings.
How's that experience been?
What experience?
Watching it on the phone?
It's fine. That doesn't so much matter to me. The phone versus the actual TV. Like
I mean, I watch most
I
of
don't
my
care.
stuff on the train on the phone. So.
Yeah, I don't really care what I watch it on, as long as I just get to veg out and watch something and sort of take my mind off things.
Anything else other than Emily in Paris?
Other than like, going, and what Matthew's really been into, Is It Cake? So we've been watching a little bit of that.
Is there a new season, or is it the same?
No,
same
same
season?
one. Same one. He's just watching it over and over again.
It's a good show. He was watching some other show I saw where they were building stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like challenged by children to build stuff. He's
Yeah.
gonna be really into that.
Yeah. And then I've just been sort of like dipping into what you've been watching with Iron Fist. I think we had a little bit of Luke Cage in there. recently.
Yeah, both of those were in there. I finished up the first season of Luke Cage, as you know. I'm going back through the entirety of the Defenders saga, since it's now officially canon
Yep.
within the MCU. And so I finished up Luke Cage. I loved the first half of Luke Cage, and then they changed up the bad guys, and the ending wasn't as good. I felt the newer character toward the latter half of the show, Diamondback, just didn't do it for me. But I've switched gears over into Iron Fist, which had a nice little tease at the end of Luke Cage. There was I forget who it was. I think it was the nurse who grabbed a flyer for Colleen Wing's martial arts studio, which is the studio that is featured in Iron Fist. Iron Fist, Iron Fist was a frustrating one because Iron Fist is one of my favorite characters, my favorite Marvel characters, my favorite comic book characters. I think Iron Fist is a great character. Not a great character on the TV show. Kind of one note, kind of one dimensional, kind of not treated very well. Kind of comes off as a kind of arrogant idiot, savant almost. I don't know. I'm 4 episodes in, not really digging it. Don't remember where it goes, but we're getting back to the cutoff point where I stopped watching it. I stopped watching it about halfway through the Defenders. Never finished the Defenders. So
Right.
after this is Punisher season 1, which is kind of fun after the Defenders. So yeah, I found those. We watched Barry.
Oh, we did. I
We
did
did
forget
watch.
about that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
watched
we
that
did.
before our HBO Max subscription ran out. I really like that show. I really like the season. I found myself repeatedly saying "Holy shit" in the Barry, like the finale.
Yeah.
Thought that was just hard. It was awesome. But other than TV shows, I've actually been doing a lot of reading, which is nice. When I'm not reading a Stephen King novel, I get to kind of catch up on things. So I read "The End Is Always Near" by Dan Carlin, who is of course known for what is his podcast? Hardcore History. Hardcore
Yeah.
History podcast.
We've
Very
talked about him a lot.
very
Yeah.
good. I mean, he's exquisite. The book was good. Decent. A little lacking in details. I think a lot of it was more of a theory than hard facts, although it was built on a lot of facts. It read like one of his podcasts, and I think that's what it was. Originally, it was probably a tossed aside series of transcripts. It was decent. It was fun. Also read Our Kind of Cruelty by Araminta Hall. Didn't really like that one. It reminded me a lot of my first novel in many ways. And characterization.
Interesting.
Story, just
Right.
general build. It's like a hard-boiled kind of crime thing told by the antagonist,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
And I didn't jive with it. It read like someone trying to get into the mind of someone else, trying to get into the mind of a character rather than being behind the mind of the character. So it was almost more like a study than like a novel, a character piece. Yeah, I can't remember. However, one that I can recommend, even though I haven't finished yet, is Tuesday Nights in 1980 by Molly Prentice. What a book. Love it. Love this book. Love the writing. Love the character development. Love the plot. Love everything about it. It's just going in random directions that I love. It's just absolutely adore this book. I'll have more to say on it next month, once I finish it. But what I've gotten to so far, really, really digging it.
Good.
Recommended
Awesome.
it to several people.
Yeah.
That I know, so I know who like to read. And in terms of video games, of course, I finished up God of War Ragnarok, which was a big one. I have to say, it was fun to play. It was fun to explore, but I think the story was a bit lackluster. Like it just didn't.
It's a shame.
None of like the big moments really hit me in the way that they did in God of War, in the previous God of War game, which I just replayed and still hits very, very well, even though I kind of powered my way through. I mean, I put in a ton of hours. I probably over 50 hours into God of War Ragnarok. And eventually I just put it down because I was bored. I was tired of it. I was just like, nah.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, it was, although I will give it this, unlike when I played Horizon earlier in the year, which is another third-person exclusive from Sony, I did keep going after the story was finished, so that's a positive, I think. The game itself is very fun to play. The controls are great, which kind of ruined my experience of Uncharted 4, which I am now replaying after God of War, which has really janky controls.
Yeah.
The controls are just very tanky and wobbly, and I'm playing the PS5 remaster in the Legacy of Thieves collection, and it's not the best playing game. It's not the best game to play. But it's a very fun game to experience. The story is great, and I'm really digging this far more than I did the first time I played it. When I first played it, I wasn't really feeling it, but now, like, the way it tackles family and loved ones and responsibility and growing up is just, it's very, very nuanced. I do wish there was a hug Elena button. Elena is Drake's wife. There's several times when you partner up, and I'm like, go make sure she's okay. She just did a bunch of stuff, and eventually he goes, oh, are you okay? And he goes over, and then they have a nice little scene, but, like, after every one of these, I'd be like, whoa, you in one piece? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. It's what I would want to do. Yeah, but I think other than that, I think the only other one that I have of note is Weird.
So, okay. Listen.
Weird, of course,
This movie
was our video club pick of the month, streaming exclusively on Roku, and it is about the life and times of Weird Al Yankovic, starring Daniel Radcliffe, and just a series of cameos. I mean, there's a lot of people in this movie.
There are.
Kim, about 10 minutes into this movie, you turned to me and you said, what'd you say?
You ever watch a movie and you know about 10 minutes in that you're not going to like this movie?
Yeah. Did that sentiment stretch through
Oh yeah.
the whole film?
Oh yeah. Here's my problem, and maybe it's not the movie. I want to give the movie credit. I guess that it deserves, and perhaps I will walk away from this one saying it's me, not the film. I have a really hard time with satire. I don't understand it. I don't get why it's funny. I don't get it. Like The Onion, I think, is a satirical
Yep.
news
Yeah.
site. I don't understand why that's funny, because why is made up stuff funny?
Well, satire isn't always meant to be funny.
It's poking fun at something.
It's changing it's generally changing it in a way to bring light to the thing that you're changing in a different way.
Why not just add a real positive perspective to whatever it is? Why does it have to be covered with falsehoods and wild storylines?
I don't know, because that's kind of where we are in terms of satire, because our world has gotten really weird. And so what would have been satirical headlines 20 years ago is just reality now.
I disagree with that. I think, let's take this movie for example.
Okay.
90% of it was not true. Like, why are you making a story called Weird, the Al Yankovic story, and lying about half of it. Lying. It's just lies. Let's call it what it is. It's lies about his life and how his life played out. He never dated Madonna. He didn't have a poor relationship with his parents. His father wasn't an a-hole, right? Like the movie depicts. His parents actually supported him, and he had full support of them and love of them. They were always in his life. There was no big fallout like the movie portrays. Um I at some point, I like during this movie, I had to like look up like what actually happened.
You
Um
looked up a cheat sheet to find out what was real, basically?
yeah, called History versus Hollywood,
Wow.
because I'm like, okay, well that could be true. His father could have been an a-hole, could have beat up a door-to-door salesman, could have done that. People are like that, right? Like there's
Yeah.
abusive fathers all the time. The only part of that whole scene that was true was that he got his first accordion from a door-to-door salesman. That's it. The rest of it is just fake, false. You know,
So why change it? What do you think?
why change it? Why change it? Was it not good enough? His father wasn't an Amish person. His father didn't go through Rumspringa and come out. Like that wasn't true. Um my even how he came up with, okay, my how do you say Bologna? How do you say that word? Because I have a real problem with like how it's said. That's not how I pronounce that word. And maybe it's dialect. I'm in the Northeast. That's not how I say that word.
Hey Siri, how do you pronounce Bologna? How do you say that? Hey Siri, how do you say that?
Siri's going to fail you.
Translate into which language? Why is Siri always it's always so useless? Hold on. We're gonna how to pronounce my Bologna has a first name? Well, in that song it's Bologna. Or
And
is
he
it
and
is it
he
Bologna?
certainly didn't meet the drug cartel. Like
And
that was
kill him.
yeah.
The correct pronunciation is Bologna, but it's common to say Bologna instead. Experts attribute this to anglicization, which often leaves Italian words with Y endings, like Italia becoming Italy. So it should be Bologna. My Bologna. So you have a problem with the whole fact
I
that the movie is not accurate.
It's
It's a
not accurate
satire.
even a little bit.
You turn to
Um
me and you go,
he
"This is satire."
he didn't expose himself on stage. He didn't have a problem
He
with
didn't
drugs and
expose himself on
alcohol.
stage in the movie, to be fair. He pulled out an accordion and got
Okay.
tackled for it.
Okay,
I,
well,
I mean, of course this was satire.
he didn't have a fallout
They
with
had
his
like
band.
underground polka parties.
So why make a story about it? Why not write a fictional story? You want to write a movie, don't make it be about the Weird Al Yankovic story. Call it something different. Don't make me believe I'm going into this as a biopic and it be completely false.
Well, I think that's kind of the brilliance of it. There's not even a warning that says, this is satire. This is there's nothing. There's also nothing that says this is based on true events. But you come into it thinking that you're going to watch the story of Weird Al, and then it's pretty clear pretty quickly that this is not true. And then when he writes "Eat It," and there's the big like monologue from what was it, Will Arnett? Is it Will Arnett?
Yeah.
The guy who plays Gruber,
Hmm.
MacGruber. He goes, just to be clear, this is a completely original song you wrote, not based on anything whatsoever. And they were calling out the fact that it is preposterous that he wrote Eat It, and then Michael Jackson released Beat It. And then they took that even a step further and said that Michael Jackson parodied Eat It with Beat It. That Michael Jackson was the one who was writing the parody.
Why is
they
that
had weird,
funny?
because they had Weird Al flip out and say, why can he do that? He shouldn't be allowed to do that. Because that's the kind of stuff that he was going through at the time.
I get the irony. Like, you don't need to explain irony. Like,
Okay.
it's just, it's all lies.
It is. I mean, they had Madonna run, run the drug cartel at the end, and then put a hit on Weird Al. You know, spoilers, but you should have watched the movie. They kill Weird Al. I mean, that's the ending is they kill him.
And you find that funny.
Well, because he's clearly not dead. I mean, he was in the movie.
I understand. So why is that funny to write about, like, your demise? Like,
I don't
cannot.
know. I think it's I like it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty.
I hated it.
You hated it.
I will say, we're going to talk about ranking the very bottom.
Wow.
The very bottom.
What about Daniel Radcliffe put in a hell of a performance?
I'm not saying Daniel Radcliffe was
the cinematography
bad.
was really good. I thought the editing could have been a bit tighter. There were a couple parts where the dubbing was very obvious.
I can't rate this high. Like, I sat there disgusted at the whole thing. Like, I don't let it's satire. It has never been for me. It's like that other show you watch. Like, it's just like,
I think you should leave.
like, they think it's funny that the guy's eating paper, and I'm like, why? That's not funny. That's just stupid.
Have
That's
you seen
just
the
stupid.
Coffin Flop episode yet?
And I choose not to. And it's fine if you like that. I'm not trying to offend you. My husband clearly likes it. You know, I'm not angry at him for liking it. Like, this is your sense of humor,
You didn't laugh
just not
during this
mine.
movie.
Not one time.
Not one time did you laugh during this movie.
No, I did not think it was funny even a little.
Okay. All right, that's fair. So you brought up the rankings. So let's go into our rankings. Our video club ranking. This is volume 2 of our video club. Currently, we have at number 1, The Gray Man, which I had to look up today because I don't remember the movie. I watched the trailer, still didn't really remember the movie.
How do you not remember
it was
Chris
only 4
Evans?
months ago, and I'm like, I just.
You really liked it.
I think that I did, but which has me excited because I think I'm going to watch it again. So at number 1, The Gray Man. At number 2, Don't Look Up. At number 3, Dunkirk. And at number 4, Elvis. Now, Kim, you want to put this all the way at the bottom, you said. So
100%.
You want to rank Weird at number 5.
Yes.
Below Elvis.
Yes.
You want to rank Weird.
Yes.
Below Elvis.
Yes.
Wow. Now
I'm trying to think of a bad movie that I've seen and compare it to this.
Well, you know what else we watched?
What's a movie that I don't like?
We watched White Christmas the other day.
The Christmas Story. We did watch White Christmas.
We watched White Christmas. I really enjoyed it. Although I will say, I wish they would just cut out the musical numbers where they're like practicing and they're like full music, like the choreography.
Yeah, that was very stylistic of the time, though.
Just get rid of them. Or have them like a quick, like, give us like a 1 minute, snippet of it. Move the story along because the story is the fun part.
Remember how I used to hate the Christmas Story? I hated that.
Yeah.
I like Christmas Story versus this deserves like an Emmy or a Golden Globe.
So we recently watched the Christmas Story and you seem to kind of like it.
I have grown to like it. I have grown to like it, I think, especially since I have an older son.
Hold on. My battery is dead.
Are you freaking
It just died. I've been checking it. Now I'm going to say I'm going to have to disagree with you here because while I don't remember The Gray Man very much, I know that I have it at number 1 for a reason. So I'm going to leave it there for a reason. I remember Don't Look Up. I do remember Don't Look Up. And I remember Dunkirk. And I unfortunately remember Elvis. And I think Weird is definitely not as bad as Elvis. It's definitely more enjoyable than Dunkirk. I want to put Weird at number 3.
At number 3?
At number 3 behind Don't Look Up, above Dunkirk.
Above Dunkirk.
Above Dunkirk.
No.
I think this was a more enjoyable film than Dunkirk.
I can't do it.
All right, so let's meet in the middle. Can we put it above Elvis? Because Elvis was just not a fun movie. At least it was enjoyable. At least Weird. Well, it was enjoyable. For
it
one
wasn't.
Of us.
It wasn't though. Like I loathed. Like I will never watch that movie again. Ever. Never. Ever.
You say that having come around on A Christmas Story, which you at one point said very similar to.
No. There were pieces of it that I couldn't stand. I still can't stand the mother.
Yeah, the mother's a horrible character.
I cannot stand the mother in that film.
We never finished watching the sequel. We started to watch the sequel. It was on HBO Max, and we lost HBO Max. So, well, we'll get back to that at some point. So, you won't budge from number 5, right? You think, all right, this is where it's gonna go. That's where it's gonna go. Number 5. The fact that you loathe it. I mean, that's got to give it like, so when you're writing cascading style sheets, CSS sheets, these are the stuff that I've been studying recently. So there are certain rules that apply certain weights to different things. So if you put like a style equals, that's like plus 5 points. But if it's controlled by this other point, it's like plus 1 point. And then if you put like exclamation point important, it's like plus 100 points. And it's basically impossible to override that. What I'm saying is your absolute loathing of Weird is like a minus 100 for that. So it's gone 100%. At the bottom it weighs it.
I would rather watch Dune.
Really?
Yeah.
We're not going to watch Dune though, huh?
If you said to me, Kim, we have 2 choices, Dune or Weird, 100% Dune any day of the week.
Now, just to be clear, this is the sci-fi series Dune, not the new Dune. You have not the new Dune.
Not the new Dune. The Dune with the weird thing. It's just weird.
I think you should watch the new Dune. I think you'd like the new Dune. It's a much faster paced, well paced movie.
If it means never having to watch that movie again, absolutely.
Okay, so our new ranking is number 1, The Gray Man, which I'm going to rewatch when I next time I head into the city. Number 2, Don't Look Up. Number 3, Dunkirk. Number 4, Elvis. And number 5, sadly, and I disagree with it, but I'm going to go with it, Weird. And I'm looking at our old ranking. At number 2 was Knives Out. So we have to finish up watching Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, which we've watched just about half of now. I don't think we've hit the twist because it doesn't feel very twisty at all to me. Yeah, so I don't really know where that's going. But Kim, that was my pick for the video club. As we do, we alternate every other month.
We alternate, yes.
So what, pray tell, is your pick for the video club for next month, January 2023?
Do you know who T.S. Nolan is?
T.S. Nolan?
Yeah.
Should I?
I don't know. You know a lot of like those things, those weird things.
Could you give me a category that this person is? This is a person, not a movie?
Or Mark Levin, maybe. Anyway, my pick is The Adam Project on Netflix. Got a great cast.
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds, Mark Ruffalo, Jennifer Garner.
Who's the director on that?
Zoe Saldana. That's what I was just trying to figure out.
I bet it's Adam. Is that his name?
Sean Levy?
Sean Levy. Now click on Sean Levy's name.
He's the Levy man.
He's the Levy man.
The guy from what's his first name?
No, I Eugene Levy. Yeah, I know. But what else did Sean Levy?
He was in that weird movie he was in something I didn't like.
You're not doing well.
Because I can't on my Netflix.
You're on Netflix?
Yeah.
No.
All right, hold on, Sean.
No, this is where I wanted to go. Here we go. I think if I'm correct.
Oh, no, he's not the guy I was thinking of.
Directed by Sean Levy. Yeah.
Oh, no, he's a Canadian film director.
Sean Levy directed Free Guy, which I just got on 4K. Love this movie. And he's also directing the next Deadpool movie.
So he likes to work with Ryan Reynolds, clearly.
They work very well together. I heard good things about the Adam Project. So good choice. This is an interesting choice for me. I think it's science fiction.
Yeah, it is. I wanted to do something different. I tend to do historical. I've been dying to do this one pick, and it's just so me that I have not done it. It's been on my Netflix queue. It's literally been on my Netflix queue
But it's
for
one
like
you want to save for the video club.
2-3 years.
Okay.
I don't know.
Can I guess which one it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it the Leonardo DiCaprio, Winston Churchill movie? Or is that who
No,
is in it? It's a Winston Churchill movie, though, right?
No.
Is it the Winston Churchill movie?
Nope.
Damn.
No.
Was it? Who is that? Not Gary Oldman.
Do you want to know what it is? I can tell you.
I mean, are you gonna add it to the video?
I
club
don't know.
at some
I
point?
don't know. At some point, maybe. Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
The Trial of the Chicago 7.
I don't know what that is.
Dying to watch it.
Is it a fiction movie or a documentary?
No,
I mean, there's nothing saying that we can't do a documentary.
It's not a documentary. It's a film. It's a with actors.
Is this a new film?
New. I don't know
mean,
if
is
it's
this a
new.
black and white like 1938?
No,
film?
no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a crime noir, like early what's
2020
Stanley Kubrick or something.
2020 came out.
2020. Okay.
Yeah, it's got Sacha Baron Cohen, Eddie Redmayne, Jeremy Strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not on that's not on the thing, the video club this month. But maybe the bonus feature of the month if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
We may or may not add it to the video club at a future point.
Yeah, but this one is the Adam Project, so it's hopefully a good pick on my
Streamable on
part.
Netflix, right?
Yep. I just picked something because I didn't want to do something historical. I wanted to do something lighter. It is labeled as a comedy.
Hey, weird for
It's
me
not
was funny.
It's not funny.
I laughed.
Do you know what I was thinking about today? Because after we finished it, I'm like, this was so horrible. Like, what? I keep thinking of like other movies that I've seen that were just bad that like I liked more than this one. And I can't remember the name of it, but it came out about 2005, 2004 and 5. And it's got that weird lanky looking blonde guy and McStuffin, Mc something, and they go and they get fake IDs, and there's like Pedro. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about Superbad?
Superbad. I liked Superbad more than this movie.
So did I. I mean, Superbad's a great film.
I
That's a
disagree.
classic film.
I disagree with that. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, clearly we have classic
That is
film.
classic for that era. I mean, it's very emblematic of that era of people. I think that's
When you
that's
say classic film, I think Singing in the Rain. Like,
I mean, it reminds me of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? It's like that generation's version of that, or American Pie. It's like all the same kind of through line there, but different generations.
I don't know. It's just,
Although I guess American Pie and Superbad might be the same generation. This is more like a Porky's.
I don't know.
So Kim,
The Core. I like The Core more than this.
that's a bad movie.
Nope.
Don't say that.
Nope. I would rather watch The Core.
It's not a great movie.
I
It's like reverse Armageddon, but Armageddon is campy awesomeness.
the Core was a date movie for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went on a date with a guy to the core, and I'm not sure we stayed the whole thing. I think we walked out.
You walked out
The core,
from a
yeah.
date. Why
Well,
didn't?
both of us. Like I didn't like leave and be
Yeah,
like,
but why didn't you just
peace.
maybe stop paying attention to the movie and be like, you know what? Bad movie.
Well, that's rude. Other people were watching it. I don't do that. I cannot talk in a movie theater.
I
Like it makes me so uncomfortable.
no, that's not where I was getting at. But I had a.
I know where you were going,
Yeah.
but no,
Okay. Okay.
no.
Kim, since this is the final recording, final drunk on riding show for the year,
Hmm.
real quick, I want to ask 2022 in review. Just what did you think of this year? Top line perspective. You can call on any examples you'd like, but just from a just looking back on it, what did you think of this year?
I think perspective is everything when you ask somebody that question.
So you think it's gonna be
I
something we come
think.
back on? Hi, Dixie.
Yeah, I think that I think I know we started this by saying like I'm massively stressed out. So like when you ask me that, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of 2022 is stress. But like I'm trying to move beyond that, and I think perspective is everything. And I do try to push myself and not just get into this headspace of everything is bad, everything is awful, everything is stressful, doomsday kind of mentality. I think if I were feeling a little different today, it wasn't a bad year. A lot of things, do we want to say got back to normal? A lot of things are starting to get there.
They got closer to normal.
They got closer to normal. Um,
I
I've
don't think we're ever
seen
going back to normal.
I've seen tremendous growth in our, just our kids' lives, and that's been really amazing to see. But right now, like I'm so clouded. I don't know. So I think that's where maybe ask me the first episode of the new year, and hopefully I'll be in a much better mindset. I'm hoping, knock on some wood. Um, and I'll answer and hopefully have a better answer.
Remind me to follow up with you whenever we record the next episode. For me, yeah, 2022 is keeping the string going, the streak going of just kind of overall not great years. I think the last couple of years have just like in global wise. And
I
I know
think,
that, but that's what. Hold on, let me go on narrowing it down. Starting globally and narrowing it down.
but I think even globally though, you can say that about every single year that's ever happened because perspectives are different. That's what I'm saying.
Well, so this year we had the Ukraine war,
Yeah.
right? Um, at one of my events this year, my company's leading event, we had two wonderful ladies from the Ukraine Marketing Association come and give a rousing speech. It was just kind of shed light on the atrocities happening over there. And it was just awful. And there was a lot of that at that event where it's just a lot of things that are just like worth crying over. But there was also a whole lot of good. And I really liked being at that event and seeing where people are. There was one presentation that was basically a commercial about half hour long for Chipotle, and my God, if anyone in that room wanted to go for Chipotle, if Chipotle sponsored the lunch after that presentation, we all would have eaten it.
Not me.
I want to challenge you to watch that presentation.
I will watch it and I will say, oh, that's a great presentation and it makes food look good, and I will never eat there ever again.
They address all of the stuff, all of the salmonella and the issues that brought and how they fixed it and how they've changed, and you're just not you just punish the people for the mistakes.
I choose to make decisions of my own accord, and I weigh risk, and for me, it's not worth the risk.
Okay, I can understand that. I mean, there are places that I've recently sworn off.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not going
like,
back to.
will you ever eat Chinese food or egg rolls again?
Nah,
Probably not.
nope. No, I will not.
So you're going to judge them for their past mistakes?
Yeah, yeah, I will. Yeah, never because. But you know what it is? It's and maybe this is the point with you. It was something that I didn't miss having in my life.
I don't miss Chipotle
Yeah.
because I can get better than Chipotle.
Can you?
Acapulco's, Bajas, absolutely. That is not authentic
It's not
food.
authentic. Don't make ever. It's like Taco Bell. Nobody ever says it's authentic, but it's good. It's delicious.
Okay, but even
Especially
Taco
that
Bell,
last bite of
I'm
the
waiting.
burrito.
I'm waiting for that to come out, right? Like we were talking about Subway earlier today and some of the negative press that they've gotten, um, mentioning that there's no tuna in the tuna.
Yeah.
And like it's just a matter of time. Like McDonald's had it. They were putting meat juice, right, on their French fries or whatever the hell it was. Oil, meat oil.
They were using the
Oil that they cook
yes,
the
for flavoring,
for flavoring.
and it was so much better back then.
Yes, but like
They
they
weren't
came out
vegetarian.
they came
That's
out
for
and
sure.
they were, and now Subway's going through it. It is just a matter of time.
Oh, I mean, Taco Bell's not good food,
The
and
meat doesn't even taste like meat.
no, I'm done with Taco Bell. I won't ever eat a Taco Bell again unless it's an emergency.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
why?
Oh, I haven't had Taco Bell in about 2 years, 3 years maybe.
Why won't you eat it?
There are political affiliations. Can't support them.
Okay.
Don't feel like yeah. But Chipotle, I'm down for some Chipotle any day of the week.
Okay, well tell me why 2022 was good.
I think career-wise, 2022 went a long way. I had an offer that I eventually turned down, but it really put a lot of cool things into perspective, which was very lovely. I took on a lot more responsibilities. I brought Drunk on Riding back. Drunk on Riding was gone for about a year, and I brought it back because I missed it and I find it helpful. And I'm glad that I did so. I'm going to record another a patron exclusive podcast called The State of the Channel 2022. Final reflective look back over the year. It'll be the patron exclusive for this month. But I thought it was great. Creatively, I went into a lot of fun new places. I brought in the new videos, the You Need Tos. I think I have a lot of fun. The Battery Daddy one that I just debuted, I freaking love this video. Realized afterwards that I didn't really even put any pictures of the product in there, so I'm going to go back and edit a couple of those in and slip them in. And I was just laughing too much at the whole thing to even realize. I was like, I talk about how I put all the batteries in there, and then I never even show that I put the batteries in there. So those sorts of things. I recorded a short film, Level, which everybody will be able to see next month. So that's kind of scary in its own way. I don't know. It was, there were a lot of good things about it, but it was also a really lonely year. I feel, where even though I went back to work halfway through the year, I feel like I don't see a lot of my family anymore. I feel like I saw them more during the pandemic, which is kind of a wild statement. There are certain people in my family that I haven't seen really at all in years now because of the pandemic.
But your family also grew.
This year?
Yeah.
My family grew this year? What?
Yes, yes.
With what?
New people.
Was there a baby?
New
Is there a baby I don't know about? Are you trying to tell me something? We did go to the Empire State Building recently. Are you talking about my brother?
Yeah. New
My brother
people.
is a lovely, welcome addition, but technically that was 2021. So, it
Ah,
was all confirmed in 2021. I guess we met him this year, huh?
yeah.
We met him in Cali
Yeah.
this year. Yeah.
And what a great
Oh my.
year and what a
Oh,
like
that's been great.
I
Yeah,
know and
that's
you
true. God, I can't believe that was this year.
I'm telling you. So
Wow.
like
Yeah,
yes,
I'm saying there were
like
a lot of good things, and there was
a
a
lot
lot
of
of.
good things, but a lot yes, your family is strained. Let's just say like
Yeah.
your extended family is
Yeah.
strained and I also think that sometimes also comes with just getting older. The families are getting older and they're growing their own families and like it becomes like too much, too big,
But it's also a shame. Like I growing up, like I remember seeing my cousins a lot. Like
yeah.
I saw so many of my cousins, like Justin and April on that side, Sarah and Josh on the other side, um, the little Victor and the little kids over there. I always I always had other kids and other family members and people to play with. Matthew and Olivia don't really have that. I guess
Yet.
they're kind.
Yet.
Well,
I
I think
mean,
they're kind of like almost like in between generations. They're like on the
yeah.
younger. I think they're on the younger end of the next generation. I guess there's he's got a couple of cousins, older and younger, but they're all far away and have different interests. I assume.
He's got one the same age. One of your brother's sons is the same exact age.
One of
But
my brother's sons who is halfway across the country.
yes, that's the
Yeah,
distance is a problem
yeah.
there. Yes, I understand that. But
That doesn't help.
yeah,
That's my point.
well, and hopefully within the next, let's say
I
5 years
have been
they'll
very
have.
appreciative of the way your family has been very helpful toward me and helping pick me up along the way. And I made some great new friends. At work, a bunch of new people started up, and they're lovely, and they're getting their shit done, and they're I don't know. It's it was a good year of ups and downs, I think, but
Yeah.
it's not one that I will revisit in my head, I think fondly. Generally, I think it's going to be one of these years that everybody is just kind of, well, we can forget those. We forget these years. Especially with like a lot of the politics of the stuff of this year.
Yeah, but you know what? I can't look back on my life and say, "Oh, those were bad years because of politics." Because you know what?
Which is, do you remember the
Every
hope of there was the hope at one point, and it felt so positive, and it felt like change was coming, like
but
things were going to be better,
but
and it's just we've gone in the
again,
exact opposite direction.
that's your perspective because that's your beliefs. But
I
like for others, they didn't feel that way and they felt the way you felt several years ago. So I think perspective is everything again. And I think that when you're looking back on life, politics is such a small piece of your life as a whole. And like, I think the memories you make with your kids and your family and your friends is what matters when you look back on things.
I think you say that now, but then I think of the fact that if there was a pregnancy issue and we were in the state of Texas for whatever the fuck reason, that that would be a problem, and I think that's wrong, and I
It
think it's messed up that we lost a
it
right. People lost a right. I mean, that's terrible.
yes, it is it is terrible.
That's
And
never happened before in the U.S. I mean, it's just terrible.
but change will happen again.
Yeah, I
But
guess
change will happen again and that won't I don't think that's going to stay and I think people need to make their own decisions and that's why I don't live in Texas and
So you're just telling me to bide my time.
I'm not saying don't get mad about it because people have the right to get mad about things. But I don't think you can cloud like, oh, this year sucked because of that.
Hmm.
It's just that That's such a short-sighted thing. Like,
I'm just going to say, for me personally, I felt like 2022, in terms of overall energy levels, was a generally negative one.
mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say it was, in terms of ups or downs for years, this one's going to be a little going down. It's not going to be like super down. You know, it's not like there was an insurrection or anything this year. I mean, you know, nothing like that. So it was, you know, it's down a little bit, but not terribly down. There's been some positives, but I'm not going to say it was a banger of a year either. You know, it was a year. It was a year that was lived. Farewell. Bring on 2023. That's what I say. Hopefully there's no major surprises next year.
Hey, look, here's my final thought on it, right? 2020, right? Everybody says 2020 sucked. 2020 was the worst year, right? I can't say that because 2020 was one of the best years of my life. So I can't cloud what happened in the world, COVID, not political. I'm not talking politics.
Can I just say, I'm so glad that 14 years on, I managed to make you that happy for a year.
Was it because of you, you idiot? I had a daughter, right? He is so, that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Did 2020 suck for a lot of reasons? Yes, but 2020 was also wonderful for a lot of reasons. So
Certainly made for a different time.
it was different.
Yeah.
It was different, and in a lot of ways it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I got to spend so much time with her that I didn't get with Matthew.
Which, you know, looking back on, maybe it wasn't the best idea to do. A little clingy now, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I wouldn't change her for the world.
Me either.
So, clingy or not, she drives me crazy. She stresses me out. As does my son, and as does my husband.
So, in short, 2020, good year. 2022, fine year. Yeah?
Okay, fine.
We'll go with that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what 2023 can bring us. So, until next time, I want to say thank you for listening to the Drunk on Riding show. Thank you for being with us as we rebuild Drunk on Riding, or literally from the ground up. I got a new what is it called? Tripod. My third tripod now, in the last couple of months. And I'll talk more about that in the back behind the scenes, but it's nice. It's a nice tripod. A little bit more expensive, but you know, that's what you gotta do. So, yeah, we'll talk about that more soon. Until next time, of course, I am Warren Pawlowski. That is my lovely co-host, Kim Pawlowski, who is now shaking her head at something on her phone. Maybe news. But until next time, cheers, and keep on riding.